Welcome to the Benji Lewis Coaches Show. We're broadcasting live from El Tio Jose, 5120 Desert Street in Monroe. I am Mike Downhour. On the far end, Coach Brian Jacobs, assistant principal. And this guy, Desmond Lighton, you know all about him. You know, his Washita days, just like Coach Jacobs down there. And this guy right here is the athletic director and head football coach. Benji Lewis, welcome.
Hey man, sitting in a bunch of Washita legends.
That's it.
Hey,
No doubt. No
yeah,
doubt.
I'm in good company for sure. It feels good to be here on
does
another
feel good to be here on a what Wednesday?
Victory
There you
Wednesday,
go.
baby.
I
Big
like it.
Victory
Yeah,
Wednesday.
5-0.
yeah,
5-0. Look at
Big
that.
win Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
right.
Big
Let's
Big
win.
win.
Let's talk about it. Lions haven't been 5-0 since 2010. Talk about that highly touted, that tough road game, that victory last week at Franklin Parish.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, I think the atmosphere, and we talked about that before, but once again, just like at Sterlington, I think our fans showed
They
up. I
did.
think our spirit group showed up. We got the band straightened out and got them not playing when our offense was on the field.
I did
And it
notice
just
that.
was a great
They're gonna learn.
atmosphere, man. And look, Des, you mentioned it, I think. I watched the replay back. You mentioned all them fans, they cleared out in that second half, man. They
Saw
got out
that?
of there,
You saw that?
On the home
Yeah,
side.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the home side.
Sure did.
So it was something that we talked about on here in our wins. Like, man, we took the second quarter off. This was a four-quarter win, man. They did a great job in the first half, and then came out in the second half and limiting Franklin Parish from holding them scoreless all second half. As well as going down and punching one in or getting points on that drive, that first drive was just huge for us. And I think that, along with right before the half, the interception by Dylan Johnson just broke the back and broke the
Huge.
wheel. It seemed like it just took the air out of their sails. And
Mhm.
so I'm glad that we put our foot on the gas early offensively. Really, really pleased with what we did defensively, keeping that quarterback who rushed for an ungodly amount of yardage on us last year, keeping him in check. Really keeping the rush and attack in check. The running back who picked up a Florida and LSU offer literally that day, he was held to like 15 yards rushing. So I think, defensively we did a great job of limiting that. And then offensively, Coach Caesar and his staff did an awesome job of doing just what they said they were going to do. They were going to run the ball and command the front, and that's what we did. We were able to do it in 11 and 12 personnel, so we felt good about really everything that we did the other night at Franklin Parish against a good team.
Well, let's hone in on that defense, Coach. You talked about uh, coming into that game that the year before he smoked us on offense, the quarterback
Right,
that is.
right. Hmm.
What was the message to the team coming in that week? What are some things we did to try to stimulate him
Yeah.
with our ends to keep containing him?
Well, you talking right into what I want to talk about.
Okay,
So
okay.
we start out, how do we emulate that? Our freshman quarterback, and that's number 19, Caden Manning. We asked him to come and be number one. And I said, it's not for the passing. If it was a passing, we'd use Lester Watts, our backup quarterback. I wanted to see his feet. I want to see him move around. And he did a great job of that. He was, by the way, I'll just go ahead and tell you, he was our offensive scout player of the week. Caden Manning was. What we did differently is it wasn't about the sack, it was about limiting the damage. We need to keep him contained. Don't let him outside of us. Don't let him get big yards and pop for explosive plays. And that's what we were able to limit. We got to him two times. Dylan got to him once, and Petey Jones got to him once. But more than that, it was just creating pressure or simulated pressure to him where he was confused and just had to get the ball out.
Seemed like he got frustrated at some points
It,
and,
yeah.
and got a little
And we
desperate.
had seen that, on film. We had seen that, with especially Calvary did a really good job. We felt like of, simming pressures and showing five coming and maybe dropping out and only rushing three. And then a lot of times he feels like he's going to be pressured and he'll get rid of the ball quick. And I think you saw a lot of those on some missed throws and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And coach, they really didn't give the ball to number three much. It was there anything that we did that caused that, or uh,
I don't,
were y'all surprised at
I
that?
was surprised. I look back at that and I think they just got away from it. And I don't know if he meant to. I don't know if coach meant to or not, but they definitely did get away from it because I felt like they had some opportunities to at least establish. They came out in the second half and two back personnel. And I felt like they were going to try to establish the run a little more. We kind of knew that the number two, their running back from last year, was back, and they were going to try to establish the run. I felt like they had some success in 20 personnel against us the year before, and we're going to get back in that, and they did in the second half. And it's like they ran four plays in it and got out of it. So I think, nothing that we did. I mean, we did a good job when they ran the ball,
Mhm.
but nothing that we did that would have mandated, hey, we don't need to try to go back because I think that guy's a playmaker. I think Trey Martin, I believe is his name, is a playmaker, and definitely made a great play on their first drive, going down the seam and catching that ball
Yep.
on what was a coverage bust for us. Uh, and just didn't get their playmakers. I don't feel like ever really got going. You look at it, number one, obviously Ellis, didn't really get going. Number three didn't get going. Number 10, their best receiver, he has the pick and then he has the fumble there at the end that Waddell picks up. So I don't think that they got their players going, whether that has a lot to do with us. I know defensively we were flying around, but it's got to be frustrating for a coordinator or a play caller to not be able to get your players
No
going on
doubt.
that. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I really wanted to see is Washita's ability this year
Uh,
versus teams from a long time back. They've not been able to put a team away. They've not been able to finish the job. This year, 5-0, we have watched over and over again Washita put those teams away, but especially last week at Franklin Perry.
Yeah, and I was really pleased with that. I kicked myself for not going ahead and kicking the field goal right before half. I talked to Montreal, and that's one of them learning things,
Yep.
like I trust you to get us closer, to just make it a chip shot. We talk about it afterwards. You got to know, you got to have that clock in your head. It's got to be in the back of your mind. And I know you're trying to make a play, but go down. Give me time to get it.
Yeah.
And, I was frustrated with it, but I think looking at it, it would be hard for the officials to have called it any other way.
Absolutely. And so to tack on to what you're talking about, I was saying on the broadcast, we used to call it soul snatching.
Yeah,
And there was a point in that game where it seemed like we was about to snatch their soul. We
that's
got
right.
the pick,
Mhm.
and there was a drive that was kind of aided by the officials, and it took them down, and they was able to get that long
Right.
coverage bust.
Yeah.
We didn't let off though.
No.
We replied,
Uh,
and a lot of that was up front. It seemed like we owned the trenches,
That's
even though they had some big bodies on their defensive line. We were still able to run the ball with MJ.
Well, that's what, I go back to Coach Caesar, and I've worked with him, 8 or 10 years in total now, I think. And he said something on Sunday. He said, we're going to command the front. And I told him, I said, Coach, they got two guys that are committed to D1 programs.
Mm.
And he said, I'm telling you, we're going to command the front. And so the belief he has in our offensive front, is just, I mean, it shows because they went out and they did that for him and his staff. And I told him, I said, if you say it, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we did. We commanded both sides of the line of scrimmage. And I told you, that in a game where there's so many skilled players, both on our side of the ball and theirs, it's going to come back to the trenches. And I think it did on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. What Dylan Berryman was able to do up front, what Alex Smith was able to do, Ray Jones able to do up front. And a lot of it again was aided by us showing 5 and 6 coming and getting out of it.
Yep.
We probably brought 5 less than 25% of the time, but we showed it almost every snap.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the other players of the
Yep.
game, player of the week.
hmm Well, there's no doubt, that for us to do what we wanted to do game plan wise, we needed to keep the ball away from them and limit their opportunities offensively. To do that, we need to run the ball, keep the clock moving. I don't think you can do much better job than what MJD did.
Man, he did it.
26 carries, 199 yards, and 1 touchdown. He was our overall team MVP the other night, and well deserved for that.
We can't round up, man. 199.
Well,
From a running back perspective, what's that like?
Coach Caesar said it on the way home. He and I and Coach Samp were driving home, and he said if he didn't take that loss on that one, it'd have been over 200. It'd have been 203. He took a 4-yard loss on one.
Coach, you have any?
I think they might have gave Kevion Madison one of these
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. We'll have to go back and review that.
Yeah.
Offensive player of the week. We keep going back when these running backs and these quarterbacks have these kind of rushing nights and say, you don't just do it on your own. There was a lot the other night that I thought MJ Day did just willpower, that maybe there was a hole there, but it wasn't a big one, and he just put his head down and went to work. But a lot of the night there were holes there, and the guy that we had with 2 pancakes that has had a consistently better, not just night, but a much better year than he had last year, and that's Marcus Jacobs. Was our offensive player of the week. He had 2 pancake blocks, and he graded out really well, almost 90%, which, when
That's
you're
great.
when you're grading, on a tough clip, then that's a great job.
Yeah, we had him on the show. It seems
Yeah.
like whoever we have on the show has been doing pretty good.
Man,
Yeah,
we
that's
need to keep
right.
it up.
We did have co-defensive MVPs, the tale of the 2 Dylans. First, the Dylan up front, number 48, Dylan Berryman, was a nuisance all night for their front.
Yep.
He had 3 tackles, a sack, and a big pass breakup on the bat down. And then we also had Dylan Johnson, who showed up one time on the stat sheet, and it was the INT. And it couldn't have been bigger. And I was so proud of him because, early on, I think it was just the transition moving over, a different scheme, and he looked like he struggled at times. Now he feels and looks like he's in his element and in his zone, and he did a great job on that. And really turned the tides there, like I said earlier.
He was on the island a little bit out there for
Yeah,
a while.
that's right. Yeah,
Not to mention how he tracked that interception that didn't count.
that's what
He
I'm
tracked
saying.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
That was
exactly.
an excellent. That was a big league tracking that he did. when he
I
tracked that
agree.
ball
Oh,
down.
I agree. Special teams player of the week, and this is just, I think this is representative of kind of the team we have. This guy, I didn't say too much about it the week before, but he lost his job. Lost his job
Mhm.
on special teams, and I get there the next Monday wondering how he's going to respond to that, and he's holding for our kicker. And he did a great job the other night when
Wow.
we had to swap to Kevion Madison. He goes out in front. Kevion Madison is a deep snapper. He goes out in front several times, gets the ball, gets
I
it
saw
on,
that.
and that's Oscar Hernandez answering the call and had great holds the other night. And so Oscar Hernandez was our special teams player of the week.
That's major.
Yeah,
That's a special
big
type
time.
of person that
That's
can
right.
affect
It,
team
it
pressure.
just, says I'm going to do what the team needs to do. And then lastly, defensive scout player of the week. I mentioned our offensive scout player of the week was Caden Manning, the freshman quarterback. Defensive scout player of the week. We had to have somebody that could emulate those 2 big linemen. And we told this guy, he's been kind of frustrated, and hey, coach, I want to know what I can do to get on the field. And I told him, I said, if you can go show me first that for a week you can play like these guys play, then we'll start talking about it. And I think you'll see him a lot more this week. But he's defensive tackle, Cam Allen.
I think he might have the highest ceiling, like
I
upside
agree. I agree
of
with
anybody we're gonna see,
Yep.
man. I can't wait to see him develop into a player.
So you'll see him more this week because he's progressing and he's starting to learn that, you can't stay the same day to day.
No,
If
no
you're
doubt.
staying the same, you're staying behind.
Absolutely.
So he did a great job this week. Played in the JV game the other night because he is a junior, and man, he was impressive to say the
Put the
least.
work
And I
in.
think you'll see him on Friday night, and you'll be pleased with what you see.
That's good.
One of the things we talked about is this 5-game gauntlet, 4 on the road.
Yep.
They're all against major playoff teams, and
Three on the road now.
3,
'Cause you got
well,
Neville.
4, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, for the
Yeah.
5 games, so
Oh, yeah,
it was
absolutely.
on the road, and you guys handled it, and yet you get to do it again and again and
Right.
again and again. And I know a different game and a different
Yeah.
opponent, anything can happen, but way to go 1-0 on that
Yeah,
5.
that's exactly.
you
I
know.
mean, that's all we can do. If you look at it, it looks insurmountable. It's, first of all, it's 2-5A, a great district to play in and be in. Then it's 3 or 4 away games, so you got district plus 1, so you got 4 away games. We're just going to take it 1 week at a time. We have 1 away game this week, and we're going to play Ruston in their homecoming game, and we're going to go over there and do what we can do, and then we'll worry about next week when Sunday and Monday hits.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
talk about Ruston coming up
Yep.
shortly. Who did you bring tonight? Who will we be talking to?
I brought offensive coordinator as far as our offensive coach. I brought our offensive coordinator back. Coach Leonard Caesar is here.
Glad to
Offensive
have him back.
coordinator and
Yes, sir.
quarterback coach. Yeah, he'll be talking the offensive side of the ball with y'all. And with him, we have our quarterback here, Montrell Connor, as well as running back Cam Williams are here with Coach Caesar. On the defensive side of the ball, I brought defensive line coach and special teams coordinator, Coach Jeremy Foote.
And bus driver. Don't forget bus
And
driver.
bus driver and
And
Sky coach
physical
set up
science teacher.
and
Yeah.
physical science
Like a
teacher
true administrator over here.
with his observer to our
Yeah.
right. And
That's great.
and then player wise, we brought rush end or rush edge rush Jeremy Petey Jones with him. So Petey had a great night as well the other night. And got those guys to talk with you as we get ready and you go through this show.
All right. Well, we'll go take a quick break and come back with the offense and take a look at what that's going to be. You are tuned into the Benji Lewis Coaches Show, broadcasting live from El Tio Jose, powered by Creed and Creed. We'll be right back.
I'm Christian Creed with Creed and Creed. We're proud to support Ouachita Parish High School because, like football, fighting for the win takes commitment, courage, and teamwork.
And that's what we build in our lines, both on the field and off. These young men work hard, they lead with heart, and they represent our community with pride.
At Creed and Creed, we fight for our clients the same way these athletes do every Friday night.
Thank you guys for supporting our lines.
Remember, Creed and Creed is all you need. Go Lions!
Do you suffer from frequent back or neck pain? Were you in an accident and can't get rid of those constant aches? Maybe you're someone who deals with chronic migraines and tension headaches. It might be time to see how Martinez Chiropractic can help you. The goal of Martinez Chiropractic is to reduce or eliminate pain in just a few sessions using the latest in chiropractic technology. Don't suffer in pain another day. Call Martinez Chiropractic today at 318-654-4310 or see them in person, 1828 Tower Drive in Monroe.
Hi, I'm Chris Lewis, the proud owner of Coney Island Connection. For nearly 20 years now, we've served the Oklahomites with our fast, friendly service and our famous chili cheeseburgers and our famous chili cheese dogs. Well, the chili is homemade. I'm asking you to stop by today and give us a try. We also serve hot tamales, roast beef po' boy, fried pickles, and much more. We even serve funnel cake fries here at Coney Island Connection on the corner of North 7th and Arkansas Road.
Are you ready to score big this season? Johnny's Pizza House is the winning play for every game day with our new Pizza Squad Rewards app. Download it now from johnnysph.com/app and get in the game with $5 off your first in-app order. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice of game day glory.
David's Mobile Detail and Wash makes it so convenient, they come to you. Cars, RVs, boats, motorcycles, airplanes, homes, buildings, and more. For all your mobile detail and wash needs, call David's Mobile Detail and Wash 547-3233. A proud graduate of Ouachita High School's class of 1990, Paul Evans has been helping families in the toughest times for years. You find yourself stuck behind those cinder block walls? Call Paul. Paul Evans Bail Bonds, 267-7740.
This is your station, Magic 106.1. From New Jack Swing to 2000s R&B. Every beat is a part of your story. Others imitate, but they can't duplicate. Magic 106.1.
Getting ready. And welcome back to the Benji Lewis Coaching Show. I am Desmond Light here. We are live at El Tio Jose. That's Uncle Tio here on Desired. And it's another Big Win Wednesday. I got some illustrious guests with us. We got the offensive coordinator here and Coach Leonard Caesar. And we got the quarterback here in Montreal Connor Jr. And we got part B of our AB dual threat running back connection and Cam Williams here. And of course, we got Coach Jacobs here. That's our administrator. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Happy to be here again.
I mean, we missed it last time. Yeah. You know, we had some technical difficulties, so we had to have you back. It was so nice we did it twice.
Well, look, man, I enjoy being on this, and I'm happy to be with my guys here to the right of me.
Well, let's talk about you guys a little bit. You know, who'd you bring with us?
So we have Montreal Connor, so QB1. Yeah. And we have Cam Williams, who's playing running back for us. And these two guys are, leaders. Not only on the offensive side of the ball, but also on the team. And they're both seniors, and I'm really pleased with the way they've been playing and carrying themselves this year.
Guys, 5-0. This your first year offensive coordinator. Coach, let's talk a little bit about you before we get to the players. This your first year as the OC of Ouachita. How's the development and the process been of developing an identity with an offense?
It's been smooth, man. I mean, the players and also the coaches that were already here welcomed me with open arms, and I think they bought into what I was preaching early. And the fact that we have good coaches on the offensive side of the ball made it easy too, because it wasn't any type of conflict with saying, hey, this is what I want to do. And what I want to do, I think, would make us all better, and it's not just about me being good as an offensive coordinator. I want everybody to thrive, from the players and also the coaches that are part of the coaching staff on the offensive end. Yeah. And I feel like if we're winning and the offense is putting up points and we looking good doing it, then it's a win-win for everybody.
And for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you played in college, coached at Neville after that. How'd you end up here?
Yeah, so I played at Neville High School, and I was blessed to receive a scholarship at Central Arkansas, and I went there. And to be honest, when I got into college, I didn't know if I wanted to coach or not. I went to college to be a nurse. And then when I got into college, I realized I was a little too social for nursing school. You know, so I didn't know what I wanted to do, man. I actually graduated with a degree in dietetics, nutrition.
Yeah.
And man, I was just working at Conway Regional Hospital, and I knew it wasn't a job that I wanted because it had no purpose, you know. So in 2009, my younger brother, who's the running back coach here, O'Shea Caesar, that Nelville team went to state, and me and my father, we went down there and we watched the game. And while we were watching the game, it was the superintendent for Calcasieu Parish, Richard Vale, who I talked to last week because it was his birthday. He heard me and my dad talking about the game, and he asked me, like, man, how do you know so much about football? I say, man, I just got finished playing at Central Arkansas. He told me, man, if you ever want a job coaching, then I'll make sure you get a job here in Lake Charles. I mean, in Lake Charles. And man, years later, when I decided, like, I think I want to coach because I was coaching a Pee Wee League team in Georgia, and I fell in love with it. I reached out to him, and it was just like we had that conversation a day ago.
Yeah.
He remembered me and everything, and he got me connected with some schools in Lake Charles, and I ended up having my daughter that moved me back to Monroe. I was assistant manager at Batteries Plus.
Wow.
Trying to figure out how I was going to get into coaching. And I was blessed that Coach Lemoyne, Brett Lemoyne, who was the offensive coordinator at Nelville, he actually had to come and get a battery for the Nelville football program.
Okay, so
And he's like, man, what you doing here? I'm like, Coach, man, I'm working, paying bills.
Yeah.
But I was already in school to be an educator, and I know I wanted to coach. And I told the story before, man. I wasn't even thinking about Nelville. I always said it'd be cool to be a coach at Ouachita because I mean the talent there.
Yeah.
It's always been there. It was, my cousin Gerald Dyer, I think graduated in 2002, and when I went to those games, I was fascinated by that team.
Yeah.
So man, I don't want to run on because I know we got to get to the boys.
No.
But,
But you ended up here. You got an opportunity to go coach at Nelville. They found your Batteries Plus, and now you are offensive coordinator.
yeah, man, it's a blessing. God is good.
But you brought something in from the outside looking in. My little brother told me. I said, what's Coach Caesar talking about? He said he's asking us, why you think it's been so long since we won at Ouachita? You were challenging the kids and asking questions. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What was it like when Coach Caesar showed up and started asking you guys those tough questions? And what have you noticed mentally that he brought to the table?
I mean, when he showed up, it was just like we had to change everything around. So it's just like when he came, it just felt like we knew we needed to work, So it was just like, okay, if we want to do this and do that and make all our dreams, come to a reality, we know we had to put in the work, And he was challenging us to do that. We stand after practice every day, running, being leaders to the team, just not letting people slack and stuff like that. So it's just like he pushing us to be better, and I like that about him.
When he first came, it was like, I don't know. Like when he asking questions, we see we gotta do this. In order to get this, we gotta do this part. Like like he said, we gotta run after practice, but it's not conditioning. You just see how we gonna react and what we gonna do. And when we gotta do it, it's like, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's not conditioning your body physically. It's conditioning your mind.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to let them know. It's not punishment work, guys. You have to be able to handle adversity the right way. And if conditioning after practice is going to break you down, think about when it's fourth quarter in the game and we down. Or look, we start out the game slow.
Yeah.
And we're not producing the points that we thought we would, in the first 2-3 drives. Are we going to start complaining about everything and turn on each other? So that's what it is. It's mental fortitude that we're trying to build with these young men. And it's bigger than football. I tell them that all the time. You're going to be a person longer than you are an athlete. So if you have mental fortitude because of the game that you playing and you can carry that on to life, then I feel like I've done my job as a coach, and I feel like every other coach feel that same way at Washington.
It's been surreal watching two Neville guys, you and Coach Benji, come together. Y'all got a past history together and bring this a winning culture back to Washington. It's been really, really awesome to watch. We talked about MJ because he player of the game, but talk about what it's been like having that dual threat in Montreal and also having Cam to be able to have a change of pace in there.
Yeah. So the phrase that I said when I started watching these guys play is, man, we have weapons galore. It's weapons everywhere on the field.
Every level. Tight end, Cam Brooks.
Yes, and it's not just the people that's on the field. It's some people that's sitting on the sideline waiting, who if they were anywhere else, they'll be a starter. You know,
Man,
it's just
I saw Cody Nelson take off. I didn't know he was that boy. He looked like Jennings out
that's what I'm
there.
saying. It's like, y'all, we can only have, 5 skill players on the field at one time.
It's one ball.
Yep, and it's one ball. But we try to do our best to get everybody, a role on the team.
Yeah.
And you have to understand with their role, it may not be your night. It may be next week that you have a big game. Or the numbers may not be big, but the opportunity that you have, that you make the best of it. And I think they all do that. And right here with Cam Williams, Cam is not getting 10, 12 carries a game, but every carry that he have is meaningful.
Meaningful, big.
Meaningful, yep. And what he does is he runs hard. All right. And I knew AJ. I mean MJ. I knew MJ. I knew what type of back we were getting in MJ. But Cam was really a pleasant surprise. People talked about him. He run hard, but he's a hard worker. He's strong as an ox, and he has good vision. And I think that's what people kind of confuse. He's not a shifty guy, and you don't have to be shifty to be effective.
Yeah.
Anytime he getting the ball, he moving forward, and it's the 3 and 4 yards that he getting, and eventually he break one. And that's been the unfortunate thing with him. It's like some of his big plays got called back because of penalties. And now he's sitting here with an ankle injury, and I know he wants to play, but man, look, it's a long season. We only halfway through the season, and I plan on playing a lot of playoff games.
Let's talk about
You know what I'm saying? So he's going to get more opportunities, but I'm grateful that the opportunities that he have, he make the best of them.
Well, let's talk about that, Coach. Coming off a big win versus Franklin Parish, we starting that first push into making it to the playoffs. What's this big week of preparation been like getting ready for Rusty?
It's been good, man. I think they all understand the task that we have at hand when it comes to district play. And I look at it. I was thinking about this today. I'm like, man, we are one game ahead of where we were last year. Going into district, Washita was 4-1, right? We're 5-0. All right, that's a one game difference. Like, so we can't get too high on ourselves thinking that we can't be beat because we know what happened last year. But the funny thing about it is this not last year, and we're gonna make sure of that. So we're gonna make sure that we working the right way, because we know that, man, every district game is going to be a difficult game, and the emotions are going to be high. It's one of the best districts in Louisiana, football wise. So, man, we just trying to take it game by game, day by day. And I thought this week of preparation it matched what we trying to do.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it feels like we keep saying, wait, we haven't played a complete game. It felt like last week was the first time we had a complete game. Was that a message that you guys brought to the guys? Did we feel like that we're getting closer to becoming a good team?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Everybody wants you to be ready when they feel like you should be ready. This is a process, and you can't rush the process. The only thing you can do is make progress through the process, and that's what we're doing right now. And we all have moments that we can say, "Ah, man, we want to take that back." But at the end of the day, a win is a win.
Yeah.
And what we got to do is fix what we need to fix in that win. And I'd rather be fixing things when we winning,
Absolutely.
opposed to pissed off because we losing.
Yeah.
So and even with Franklin Parish.
You laughing as you said pissed off.
Oh, I'm sorry. But even with Friday, I was mad because the 2-minute situation. We got to put up points there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that had to do with me as a play caller. I'm hard on myself. If I'm gonna be hard on them, I have to be hard on myself as well. So I do think we're moving in the right direction, but it's gonna be days where and plays where we would want those back as a player and as a coach.
Yep. QB1. What do you feel Coach Caesar has brought to the table that's helped you develop as a passer and as a overall football player?
Well, I think that just overall, I feel like he owned me a lot more. Like every day of practice, I really don't get a break. So I feel like it's just he owned me nonstop to do this and to fix that and to get better at that. So I feel like it's a lot that he bringing to the table and he trying to help me with just because he want me to succeed for me and the team. So and I just feel like that him being there, I feel like it's all gonna work out. I feel like we're gonna lead the team in the right way. We're gonna keep getting better day by day, and I feel like everything's just gonna work out.
Okay. Any message coming into this big game? And How about this? How do y'all feel about being selected as a homecoming opponent?
I don't like that. I ain't gonna lie. It's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
So like I said last week, we not sweet. We gonna be there. We gonna be there Friday. That's all I had to say to Rusty.
The word that I just slipped and said, that's what I am.
Yeah. Let's keep it up.
No, seriously, man, because I mean, it is. It's kind of a slap in the face. But you look at their schedule, I understand why. But we hoping that they won't choose us again next week. Next year. Never again. Never again.
So we changing our past track record.
Yep. Cam, what you think about it?
Crazy. That's crazy. But like last year, they almost lost to us, and for them to put us as homecoming this year is kind of disrespectful. And they almost lost last year. So I feel like we finna Friday. We're gonna go do what we do. We're gonna come back with a win.
Okay.
The mission is home invasion.
Home invasion. Well, look, good luck with that home invasion. Be cheering you guys on. We'll be back after a quick break here at the Benji Lewis Coaches Show.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
Customer service is really important in the car industry because when you take care of the customer let people know how good you are, and that brings in referrals. So customer retention and customer satisfaction is one of my best things I love about doing this thing. Because if they're happy, I'm happy. My customer happiness is my happiness.
We warmly invite you to join us in worship at North Monroe. Our hearts are dedicated to serving Jesus and growing together as a community of faith. Through the power of worship, the intimacy of small groups tailored for all ages, and our deep commitment to supporting one another as we seek to walk with Christ. Join us on Sundays at 9 and 10:30 a.m. at our Monroe campus. You can also worship with us at our Bastrop campus at 10:30 a.m. For more info, visit us at northmonroe.com.
For all your favorite Mexican dishes, stop by Monroe's newest restaurant, El Tío Jose. The Garcia family welcomes you and yours 7 days a week at 5120 Desert Street. El Tío Jose. You're going to love it.
Imagine having a beautiful smile that carries you through all stages of life, and that beautiful smile begins at Caples and Robinson Orthodontics. To further enhance our patient experience and care, Dr. Caples and Dr. Robinson welcome Dr. Cami Laird as a new member of the Caples and Robinson practice. And with over 56 years of combined practice, we are the most experienced orthodontic group in Northeast Louisiana. We use the latest advancements in orthodontic technology, including the Damon Ultima system for braces, and Spark aligners that are customized to fit your life, not the other way around. Our doctors and staff will make sure you have the best experience possible on your journey to a straighter smile. That includes faster and more comfortable treatment that will give you a smile you'll be proud to wear. Ready to get started? Contact Caples and Robinson Orthodontics today at 318-325-9655 and take the first step towards a confident smile.
This is your station, Magic 106.1. From New Jack Swing to 2000s R&B. Every beat is a part of your story. Others imitate, but they can't duplicate. Magic 106.1.
Welcome back to the Benji Lewis Coaches Show, broadcasting live from El Tío Jose, 5120 Desert Street, Monroe. Join us every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. Join all these washed off folks that are here. Good crowd here tonight, by the way. And you're always invited to join us. We are here. We have got Coach Foot here, and we also have Petey Jones. Man, you guys have just had 5-0. I mean, how do you talk anything better than that?
I don't know. It's just a wonderful feeling, especially like coming off last year. We feeling focused, as a team, but as a senior group, we coming in all together. Making sure everything in check. Everybody doing their assignments. Just take like accountability of everything and everybody. So it feels good being 5-0.
5-0, no doubt. Coach, one of the things we talked about with Coach Lewis earlier, Washita teams, some of them in the past, didn't finish the game very well or didn't go 4 full quarters. You guys are playing lights out, and I know there have been a few missed quarters, in the first 5 games. But bottom line, second half especially, you guys have performed. You guys have really come through. Is there anything different this year? I mean, you're senior heavy. I know there's a brotherhood there, but what's different this year?
I think it's you got to look at Coach Lewis has been with them now for 4 years total. Having that consistency as well as having a lot of different guys in different positions. That like we now have a safeties coach, we have a corners coach, and we have a D-line coach and an inside backer and an outside backers coach. So there's a lot of different guys getting to coach different positions, and it's more one-on-one, less whole group type stuff.
Right.
We can break it down a little bit.
And it is a big difference between interior and that edge, especially in responsibility. So having two different coaches, we split it up in college too. And this last week, you guys had a big task at hand in keeping that quarterback in the pocket. Talk about that. You actually didn't show up. You got to him once, got you a sack, right?
Right.
But what was the messaging during the week in preparing for that?
It was just being patient, not overrunning, not trying to do other people's job, just staying home and doing what I was taught to do. You know, we
Which was
taught
what?
just basically keep him contained from using his legs. If he can't use his legs, then it's not no offense really. So we shut that down, and it speaks for itself.
Yeah,
right.
he said it best. I think when you start looking at it from collective, we tend to want to do other people's jobs at times, whereas Petey's job is to make sure he turns everything in for them big guys to make plays too. And if he can stretch it out and make the play himself, that's fine as well. But we tend to sometimes, like especially against Franklin Pierce last year when he torched us, we tried to peek, we tried to climb up field, we tried to do other people's jobs, and this year, man, it was a collective, and it gave us all chills on the sideline watching us how much we've grown from over the course of a year, man. It's impressive.
Go for it, Mike.
No, Petey, tell me what was in your mind when you got that sack. Or nothing profane now, just
It just I didn't think too much of it. It's me making plays, not too much.
well, he and I did, I tell you that.
But it felt good. It's like I said, just me doing my job and not overplaying my part.
The cool thing is Petey. A lot of people think he's a D lineman. A lot of people think linebacker. Sometimes a safety. Wears a lot of different hats. And Petey's the type of guy. He's gonna. If he makes a mistake, he can recover from it really fast. And that's what you like about. It's easy to coach a kid like that,
Yeah, well, talk to us about that responsibility. Like you hear rush in. What all do your duties entail?
It includes second and QB. Sometimes I can go out for coverage.
So you got to flip your hips and drop.
Yeah. That's
curl flats. What you doing?
Athletic side. Yeah. Curl flats. Anything up the seam, maybe a little like out routes and things like that. That's my assignment.
So you looking to get a pick?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we'll see either tomorrow, Friday, or next week. Anytime of the year, I'm ready.
Coach, but you wearing a couple of hats, man. You doing special teams and defensive line. How do you split time between the two of those?
And Des and I passed you guys on the way down to Franklin Parish. You're even the bus driver.
Oh yeah.
Hey, who said that? Make sure we didn't forget the bus driver.
Well, the special teams is one thing, but Coach Lewis and I work well together in terms of that. I mean, it does kind of get difficult at times trying to coordinate all that and then flip around and worry about the D line. But I mean, it's really been fun because I think I get to see every kid versus just my position group. So I kind of get to learn everybody and how they operate. And me and Petey on Friday night, we had a little exchange, and I told him he was wrong about some things. And after I came back, I told him I loved him. And if I hadn't have been around Petey as long as I have, I wouldn't have known how to coach him. And getting to see different kids like that, it gets fun to be just so diverse with all the kids
and help mold them as to who the player they are.
That's exactly right.
So from week to week, how does it change, Coach? Like we had a big mobile quarterback, dual threat, LSU committing and back, or LSU offer in the backfield. Now this week, how does the challenge change for a defensive?
Yeah, let's talk those Bearcats.
Oh man, we gotta have a few more big men in the picture. And we gotta flip different fronts. We taken away dive and they run veer out of the eye. I mean, they're in my opinion, the best coach team in the state when it comes to running the eye and doing things right. So they're very disciplined. But I will say that we're not satisfied with where we're at, and we're ready to come in and take care of business when it comes to that.
What should we look for offensively from these Bearcats?
Well, if Six is in the game, he's a handful. They're going to try to use him as their target. He's not a 5-star for a reason. He's special. Uh, in the eye, they're trying to get downhill quick. And that quarterback does a good job at pulling it when he sees an open lane. So we just
Discipline.
really, I mean, it's just different kids in the game, but we got to do what we're coached to do
All right.
from the get-go. If we can keep them inside and make plays and set a new line of scrimmage behind it, we'll be successful.
Talk about we heard you had Cam, the other Cam,
That's right.
working on some scout team last week, and he showed to have some upside. And you talked about some bigger bodies. Is he one of those bodies we might see?
He is sparingly. I mean, there's a few things he's doing. He's having to wear a few different hats this week, but I'm going to use him for sure in that stand-up spot because I promise you, he made our tackle and our tight end way better last week, and I think it showed in the game that they were able to handle that type of defensive line that Franklin Parish had.
Could AJ Washington be one of those bodies we see?
I can promise you he's going to be in the game at some point.
Absolutely.
For me.
What's that like, man? Seeing your teammate play offensive line center and then come across and play defensive line with you.
That just shows you how talented the team really is. Like in our own way, we get like, how can I put this? I'm gonna just say special. In our own way, like we could do it, what we coach to do. We're going to do it. We do it like we versatile like that. Let's just put it like that.
Petey, what's it like to play a team that should be 5-0, but they lost last week, and of course they had some players sit out and all that too. But now they're not only are they coming off a loss, at 4-1 instead of 5-0, they choose Washita for homecoming. Maybe tell me how that makes you guys feel.
We seen it and we took it as disrespect. So it's only up from Friday. We had to put on the show for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just got to play with a chip on your shoulder, and make no mistake about it. I know they're 4-1, and Stephenville's a very, very good team that they lost to, and they had a couple guys go down. But make no mistake, everybody thinks that Ruston is probably still one of the top favorites in the state. And
Agreed.
It's our job to make sure that we don't let ourselves, number one, get too arrogant, and then play like we know we're capable of playing, which is just as good as Ruston, So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. You got to not be arrogant, but you also have to play with a chip on your shoulder, like I said.
But there's still some people out there saying we ain't played nobody yet.
They haven't been to a Washita game.
How do you
like
guys
I said.
respond to that?
I mean,
We got selected as a homecoming team.
it's football. Everybody's got their own opinion, but it's different when we get between them lines.
As a football coach, I can tell you, if you look at Ruston versus the other teams, I can promise you Ruston is going to be the best team we've played this far. I do think we've played some quality opponents, yes, but Ruston is gonna be the team that we come in. If we don't play like we're supposed to, it's gonna be tough. But if we play like we're supposed to, I think we can beat any team we play.
So do we see this as like this is like where we can say, hey, all right, we here for real now?
I think so.
That's hard for me to say, man, because we all before the season we set way bigger standards than just beating Ruston.
Come on, talk about it then.
That's right. This is just a stepping stone on the way to what our goal is, and when you become a coach, you pray to God to get to coach a team that is talented as this, But we have to put it on ourselves as coaches to make sure that we get out of them what we expect,
I like it.
So,
Guys, does beginning district play now? Does that make a difference? Does that change anything?
It changes our focus a little bit more. So like the things we do at the beginning of the season, we can't really make too many mistakes in the district. So like I think it changes our focus up a little bit more. Everybody locked in a little bit more because it gets serious around this time. Knowing that we seniors, knowing this our last year, we gotta lock in, gotta keep pushing, and try to make it as far as we can go.
There you go.
When you look at it from a standpoint of scheduling, Benji did a really good job at scheduling teams for us to help us get ready for district, and because our district's one of the best in the state, and
Right.
when you play quality teams like we've played, and there's 3 or 4 in my opinion that help us prepare. Like you got Sterlington who helped us prepare for Ruston, and you got Captain Shreve who helped us prepare for Franklin Parish, and winning those games that are you're supposed to win, and some games that we're going to be close, it proves to you that I mean we can play with anybody, and I think that in district it's gonna really show because that's a gauntlet coming up, and we're up to the challenge. We said that this morning talking as a group.
Well, final thought I have is, what's it been like to have your crowd follow you. I mean, Sterlington was slam full, Franklin Parish full of Washita fans. It to me, it's good because Des and I are broadcasting the game from the stands now instead of the press box, and to be in there next to the band and the cheer squad and all these fans, I know it's a different perspective for us. But man, what's it like turning around and seeing that crowd backing you?
We enjoy it because looking back at the crowd, that motivates us to let people, let us know that people are here and
They care and they love you.
Yeah, and they support us through like thick and thin, and that's gonna help us like go a long way. 'Cause with all the support and the love that we getting, that's gonna help us. We're gonna need it, especially for the district we're in.
Absolutely right. Des, any final thoughts?
Big win, baby. We want to have a big win Wednesday. So
Yes,
I'm looking
sir.
forward to seeing that D-line show up. It's a big task we got ahead of us.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up this segment. We'll be back with head football coach Benji Lewis right after this. You're tuned into the Benji Lewis Coaches Show.
All right.
Randall Garvin's Captain Avery Seafood and Specialty Meats is now open. Two incredible and delicious institutions now under one roof. Fresh cut steaks, stuffed meats, and wraps.
He's got fresh seafood of every kind, along with boiled shrimp, barbecue ribs, sausage, and chicken. Plus, there's always grab-and-go dishes if you're not cooking.
Randall's is also taking ham and turkey orders for the holidays.
Randall's Captain Avery Seafood and Specialty Meats, one block off 165 at 2607 Fur Rand, Monroe.
Built to last and backed by integrity, Allied Roofing is your trusted veteran-owned roofing company in Monroe. Quality service and professional installation make them your best choice for roofing solutions. Allied Roofing is ready to provide you with dependable, quick, and customized roofing services that suit your needs 24/7. Visit them online at alliedroofingco.com or call 257-6107. Allied Roofing, proud supporters of Washita football.
Diamond Gun and Outdoor in Lakeshore. Clearly a cut above the others. Get ready for hunting season at your one-stop shop, Diamond Gun and Outdoors. Ammo, and check out the latest new and used rifles. Why hunt all over town when Diamond Gun and Outdoor in Lakeshore has everything you need, family owned and operated? Diamond Gun and Outdoor, 8203 Desert in Lakeshore. Just down from Ray's.
Hi, I'm Melanie, class of 2018.
Hi, I'm Matthew, class of 2020. And our dad owns Mellis Towing.
We don't want your arm and leg, we just want your toe.
343-9998.
Go on!
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
I'm Christian Creed of Creed & Creed, and as a proud supporter of Washita Parish High School, we want to wish the Lions a safe and successful football season. We know you train hard, lead with character, and represent everything that's great about this team and our community. At Creed & Creed, we do the same. We believe in hard work, teamwork, and fighting hard for our victories, on the field and in the courtroom. If you've been injured, give your hometown legal team a call, and remember, Creed & Creed is all you need. Go Lions!
This is your station, Magic 106.1. From New Jack Swing to 2000s R&B. Every beat is a part of your story. Others imitate, but they can't duplicate. Magic 106.1.
Welcome back to the Benji Lewis Coaches Show, broadcasting live again from LTO Jose, 5120 Desert Street, Monroe. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock for this. Coach, it is now time to close that 5-0 chapter on non-district play. It is time for District 2-5A. And, of course, you have to draw the one that played in the state championship game the last couple of years, and that is the Ruston Bearcats. Talk to us about them.
Well, we got to play them at some time. Might as well be the first week, huh?
There you go.
Absolutely.
Good at it.
Let's put that Band-Aid off.
That's it.
That's right.
You know? No, Ruston, let me just say this, man, and I've said this to my team all week. There's a difference in having a fear of somebody and having a healthy respect for a team, and that's exactly what I have for Coach Ball and his staff. We played on the same team in high school at West Washita. He was a couple of years older than me. I've got a ton of respect for him and his staff, And I think when I talk about this team, I don't want it to come off that we don't give them, their just due, because they're 4-1 and could easily be 5-0,
right.
except for some situations on a away trip. So I have a ton of respect for Coach Ball, but I told our guys, I said that doesn't in any way mean that I think that they're a superior team or anything. I like our chances going over there. And feel like we could go over there if we do our business, do what we're supposed to do, and understand it is going to take 4 quarters of football. And that's what I say mostly about Ruston, is that it takes a full concerted effort to beat them. It's not going to be just something you do by winning the first, second, and fourth quarter.
Well, and one of the things Washita has done this year is played all 4 quarters on the right games. And not only did it show up offensively and defensively, but man, special team. You've got weapons.
Well, we do, and I know he's sitting right in front of me. Coach Foote is it burns him up day in and day out, the special teams, because it's something that you don't know is important until it's important in the moment. You know what I mean? And
the hard way.
We don't have to talk much about it, but it's easy for us. Last year we lose this very game on a special teams blunder, on a block kick, extra point at the end. So I think weeks like this help. But yes, he does a great job, and our coaches helping him do a great job of getting our special teams in. And I think to the level they are week in and week out. And it's going to take that. Ruston is a great special teams unit. They don't have the kicker. It doesn't look like he has the leg that they have had in the past as far as kickoffs and things like that. But you both remember Ruston's also a team that will kick onside kick on you in a second.
They sure will.
So there's all those things to contend with. What do you want to start with, offense or defense?
You pick.
Let's go defense this week. Ruston defense, led by, it's been Kyle Williams for a while there, and Coach Kyle went back to LSU, and they got Marcus Shanny as another ex-Washita coach. Marcus is a really good guy. I like Marcus, and he's doing a good job to this point. The thing that I would say that I think of as a compliment to Ruston is when you look over the Ruston defense, in the past 3 or 4 years, Ruston has had a stacked list of players that are college bound. It's not that this year. It's not. And they're still playing very complimentary defensive team football. And there's a couple of guys I've got highlighted.
People could take that as a slight, but
that's right. And that's what and it's not at all as a
they're
slight.
coaching.
And I'll talk about it as I go along. It's actually it's a big tip of the hat to their coaching. Up front, you've got number 92, number 90, number 98, and 91. I highlighted 91. The kid is a kid. He's an 11th grader, Hunter Soto. He's 6'1", 211.
And he's the biggest one out there.
And he's about the biggest one out there. He just plays technically good. It's not that he's overly strong, overly fast, or anything. And the same can be said about their whole front. They're not big. They're not imposing powerfully, physically. They just get the job done. They do things right technically and fundamentally. You can say the same thing going to their linebackers. Number 4, Prince Marcus, 5'9", 159. Number 32, Keelan Davis, or Willie, 6 foot, 202. Both of those guys, a 10th grader and 11th grader, they're not, colleges aren't knocking the door down right now for them, but they're making plays.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the back end that I think is a college level guy, and his brother definitely is. He's at LSU right now, and that's Jaden Anning, the brother of Aiden Anning that left last year. Jaden is a free safety, 11th grader, 6 foot, 171. He definitely looks the part. He plays the part. He does a really, really good job. And if I had to say there's a best player on that defense, it's going to be him, number 8, Jaden Manning.
That's the free safety.
That's right, and it's different.
Yeah,
it is.
See that often.
He is the best player when you turn on the tape at
Kinda
what
like
he does.
Juju at Melbourne.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of similarities there. But that being said, Ruston, has played some good teams. Longview, good team. Stephenville, a really good team. Midland Legacy, Midland Lee, they've kind of been on a downturn, but still a good team. And you got a lot of adversity to tackle going over to Texas and playing them at somebody.
You got to play them at 7:30.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
play under NCAA rules. You
Yeah.
got. I mean, there's a lot of difference.
So, and then, take those 3 away. You also have beat Acadiana in week 1,
Mhm.
So, Ruston is the same Ruston we've known. They're well coached. They know what it takes to win. They're used to winning. They're district champions. They're everything that we want to be. Everything that we're shooting for, every goal that we have is aligned with what Ruston has been. And so to do that, you have to, even though we admire what they've been able to do, you've got to be able to go knock that off. I hate to say
Yeah,
it,
that's
but
right.
you know you got to do that. And
You've got to take it.
that's it. And it's there for us. If you know, this is our year. I bragged on our seniors especially and how they lead and how they try to lead by example and how they don't let, you know, roadblocks or distractions get in their way. And we've done well at that. And now we're in the most important time for us to display those traits, to be guys that don't let the distractions or don't let the noise, you know, and we've talked a lot this week about the Nick Saban kind of mantra of don't let being good get in the way of being great, you know, and we've talked about that, man, and just how much of the enemy one is of the other, you know. It's easy to thump our chest and say we're good, and that could prevent us from being
Being
where we
great.
want to be.
And
That's a
it's
good point.
great to beat teams like Ruston, right?
Yeah,
Week in, week
exactly.
out. So it seems like when you're playing a team like this, little bitty mistakes that we've been able to get away with
That's right.
get kind of
They
amplified.
compound.
Like the extra point
Right.
last year.
Exactly. So with us coming so close in the last few years to beating them, what's kind of been the message to our offense when you're moving the ball against a tough defense
Well,
like that?
and this came from our strength coach, Coach Chance, longtime strength coach. He said, we don't get to pick the play that determines the game. We don't get to pick it. This is the one. And that was kind of a mantra all, you know, off season. If it was, you know, running bags or whatever that was. Tito is what he called it. This is the one. This is the one.
Tito.
Because we don't
Not
get to
vodka.
decide. We don't get to, not the vodka. Yeah. We don't get to decide when that rep is, when that play is that determines it could happen in the second quarter. It could happen in the fourth quarter as it did with us late. We don't get to determine that. So what does that tell us? It mandates that we better play every snap like it's the snap that counts.
That's right.
Because if you do, eventually they will. You know what I mean? So that is their defense and kind of a synopsis of what Ruston does defensively. I failed to mention they are a 4-2-5 team.
That was my
Okay.
next question. How would you describe
They are 4-2-5. They play a little more man with Coach Yanez than they did prior. They were a main cover 3 team with and then 2 high man with Coach Kyle. With Coach Yanez, they're cover 3 and a lot of cover 1. So a little more man free than what you saw in the past.
They got the bodies to do that on
Well,
the edge, I guess.
Yeah.
Pulling it off, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and they got
They
a
have
free
done it.
safety that can
That's
cover
right.
the field.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Offensively, the Bearcats are in the same mold as they have been.
I can't get past the tight end, Coach.
Oh, I know.
The tight end.
So what happened is I've told my team, I probably played and coached against Jared Ball more than any coach that I can think of around here, you know. And so it's been kind of fun to watch them win it and just how little of what I would call the Jared Ball offense that they used when they won it because of Josh Brantley, the quarterback. You know, him getting under center. I don't know if you ever saw him have to get under center, but he's about a 6'4" guy and having to get down to get under a center. I mean, his butt's almost touching the ground. So they didn't run as much veer is what I'm saying. They lived a lot out of the shotgun.
Yeah.
And now that they're back and they have Sam Hartwell, a junior quarterback, number 7, he's 6 foot himself, and he gets down there, but they're running a lot more of the veer. So it goes back to, I think that again is a testament to the kind of the coaching that they have over there is for 2 years. They went to the Dome. 1 year they won it, and they really wasn't running a lot of what their base offense is, and that being veer. So they're back to doing a lot of that now. Sam Hartwell, quarterback, really, really good at running the veer. You know, you can tell he's a young man that's come up in that system, does well. Throws the ball around well, but like he mentioned, there's a get out of jail free card there at tight end and flexed out.
6'8",
Ahmad Hudson, they do have him listed at 6'8", 242. He is the nation's highest ranked tight end, as well as being a 5-star basketball player. Hudson is one that, I was talking to somebody today, and I said, when they flex him out there, I don't have even a 6'6" corner to put out there.
Right,
So
right.
you've got to be creative in how you defend him, and I think one way is to affect the other end of that connection. That is affect the quarterback on the throw. Because if it's placed right, out of the reach, I mean, you talk about Waddell Clark being that guy. We want favorably matched up with anybody's best player. if Waddell jumps as high as he can, this guy can jump too. It's a foot more than
Waddell
can
needs
jump.
Waddell needs to bring a ladder.
It's just it's just the measurables of it. He's a tough.
Do they throw? How do they use them? Do they throw a lot of fade balls?
Yes. Oh yeah, they do, and he probably flexes out as much as he's on the line. I think he's more comfortable as a flex tight end than he is an inline tight end, and he does really really well out there. I mean, that's the thing that I think is the best about him is just how agile he is, given that he's still got some growing to do in that body. You know, he's an
got his
11th
man
grader.
body,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I mean, but he's a great talent. The other wide receiver is Josiah Morgan, number one. I really think that he was the one. If you watch the Bayou Jam game, Ahmad was out. He goes up over, the Neville defender, gets it, turns around, takes it to the house for the touchdown there. Really capable receiver himself at 6'1", 197, so a good size receiver. And Josiah Morgan, the 11th grader. One that I didn't highlight, but this guy is a 3-year starter, so he, in the same vein as a lot of our guys that I brought, and bring in, is their fullback, Lander Smith, number 10. He began getting a lot of playing time and what I would call a starter as a sophomore, and he, was a part of he was the fullback in the dome when they won it. Obviously, was the fullback last year, and now they're back to the veer, and so I think you're going to see a healthy dose of Lander Smith from the fullback position with the ball in his hand. Up front, I'll tell you who I'm most impressed with, and he started last year. He's an 11th grader now. I mean, if you look at it, number 73, Jacalyn Blackman is 6'1", 340 pounds.
Okay.
And look, he moves around good. That's the thing that's impressive about it is that, 6'1", 340, you don't see the long, lean NFL type. He's a little more squatty, but he moves well. He pulls well. And so,
They always have that power.
yeah, it's power. Yeah, they run a lot of power, and he does a really good job running power. As far as other people to look for outside of the starters, number 9, Keyshawn Malcolm will come in when they go into 10 personnel as their third wide receiver. Cullen Clark, tight end. He plays a tight end a lot of times when they flex Hudson out. I've heard he did not finish the previous game. He may not be playing this week. So Cullen Clark, still though, 12th grader. Senior, 6'4", 230, good size tight end. If he plays, he does a really good job, both in blocking and with his hands. And then lastly, the heavy fullback that they bring in goal line and short yardage package. He also starts on defense, number 92, Keegan Goldsmith, 5'7", 221, the senior.
Man,
Built like
a bowling ball.
Built like a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the Bearcats, guys.
Okay, what are when we call that formation, they're going to run what, out of the eye?
Yeah, they're out of the eye a lot.
And do they really want to run or do they really want to throw?
No, they really want to run.
Okay.
I mean, if they could win a ball game throwing less than 5 times, even with Hudson, I mean, he's just the guy that if you were able to watch the Longview game, if they needed to get out of a jam, if it was 3rd and 7, just throw the ball.
That's right.
Throw the ball.
That's such a different mentality than the team we just played.
Yeah, exactly.
So how are we switching on the head? Is it closer to like Gina, how they're running?
Well, it's the kind of the paradigm every team faces every week. Like you go from this to this, and you got to switch gears. But that's what's beautiful about this is, man, just the adversity is beauty of high school football, college football. That week to week, you're changing what your job, what your responsibility is, and I think nothing trains you for life more than that, man. And so we embrace it. These guys are friends with it amazes me with social media how it's made the world so small.
Yes.
Like Franklin Parish, our guys are friends with those guys. They're, Ahmad is texting our guys this week, not trash talking, just talking,
It's bragging rights.
Yeah. So it is social media has made the world really small, and it's cool that guys that used to just would be enemies because they go to a certain school, that they kind of broke down those walls, because I think there needs to be more community in this because we're all doing the same thing, man.
I asked Coach Foot this. We've kind of developing an identity as a team, and I'm starting to hear the buzz like, oh, Washita might be pretty good.
Yeah.
This kind of seems like an opportunity to where they could probably make an excuse, well, I ain't really played like a tough opponent yet. Is that cognizant of the team that knows like, hey, this is our opportunity to really kind of grow into the team that people think we might be?
Well, we've talked so much that I hope my answer is what is really, going on is that no matter what anybody says outside, if they're not in that building, it doesn't matter. You know, it don't matter. They're not putting in the work you put in. It's an opinion. They're entitled to it. No, you give it the wings or don't, you know.
Ain't gonna win
And
you no games or lose you no games.
that's it. So, but I mean, I know it's always out there. It's in all our lives. You pick up your phone and look, and it's there. You don't have to go on to the web page. I mean, the message boards and things like that. It's right there. You know, if you want to check and see how your church people are doing, it's right there
Yeah.
on your social media. You know.
Coach,
So go ahead.
No, talk real quick about what it's been like to turn around and see that crowd at Sterlington,
Man.
at Franklin Parish.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to travel at Ruston as well. Man, this Washita Nation is traveling and supporting. How's that feel?
It's awesome, man. You know, 'cause that's some of the things over the years, and this is my 5th year in total of being here. Is some of the things that either have been noticed or players have said when I do my exit reviews. You know, what's one thing, you know, and you'd be surprised how many times I got this answer. What's one thing that you wish you could change about your experience at Washita High School football? And it's been that more people would show up. I've had that answer a lot. And you know, I don't like browbeating. I don't like that. If you want to support us, I hope that you would. I'm not going to browbeat, but I will say that everybody that shows up and sits in that stands for those young men, they're doing them a tremendous service, and they notice it and they recognize it. And so back to your question, how does it feel? It feels pretty damn good to
That's
turn around
right.
and see that, you know.
And to
It
hear
does.
that, and to hear that crowd make a difference,
Yep.
especially when the other side, like Franklin Parish, was so quiet.
That's right. Well, and I'm glad we made them quiet.
That's
But
right.
I love that our crowd reacted and responded in the way that they did. I love the way they showed up. We need that. You know, we talk about it. We're going to be road warriors for the next,
That's
4 or
right.
5 weeks, and that's okay. Every team has to do it. I mean, you look just right down the road. Farady's field was deemed unable to play.
So
they don't
have
get
to-
home games
that's
anymore.
right.
You know.
What did they have razor blades on the field? What happened?
I heard they had like the mesh netting because they had put seed down and it was nothing but dirt.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
It is
bad.
bad.
So they're road warriors. So look, we get 2 home games in this thing, but we're looking at this one game, and I just don't know any other way to tackle it, man. I think it's too big of a thing to look and say, oh, well, we do this week. No, man, it's
no.
this week.
That's all that
This
matters.
week. Let's go 1-0 this week.
Coach 1-0 in District 2-5A play. Best of luck Friday night.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
All right, you've been tuned into the Benji Lewis Coaches Show. We'll be back here next Wednesday night at El Tío Jose, and we'll see you guys Friday night.
Find fresh flavors with Ginger's Kitchen. Ginger's Kitchen is your go-to source for homemade dry rubs, seasoning mixes, and mouth-watering canned goods. Our seasonings and mixes are made with homegrown ingredients, perfect for grilling brisket, enhancing your burgers, or adding a special touch to any meal. You can find our full list of offerings by visiting our website at gingerskitchen.store or emailing us at gingerskitchen@yahoo.com. Ginger's Kitchen, down-home products infused with homegrown ingredients, made fresh from our kitchen to yours.
David's Mobile Detail and Wash makes it so convenient, they come to you. Cars, RVs, boats, motorcycles, airplanes, homes, buildings, and more. For all your mobile detail and wash needs, call David's Mobile Detail and Wash 547-3233. A proud graduate of Washita High School's class of 1990, Paul Evans has been helping families in the toughest times for years. You find yourself stuck behind those cinder block walls? Call Paul. Paul Evans Bail Bonds, 267-7740.
This is your station, Magic 106.1. From New Jack Swing to 2000s R&B. Every beat is a part of your story. Others imitate, but they can't duplicate. Magic 106.1.